Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes, and let's get right to it. Happy Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody had a nice day yesterday. You digested your food, and now you're doing some holiday shopping or just recovering. We do have a lot going on, so we're going to get to it. Before we get to the snow forecast map here in the east, you can see how busy it is everywhere west of the Mississippi. We've got blizzard warnings up, winter storm warnings from Minnesota back through Montana and Wyoming. Winter storm warnings also down through Utah, Nevada, much of central and northwest Arizona, parts of New Mexico, areas in Colorado that were dealing with a couple of feet of snow from a few days ago. Not seeing very much from this. The way the storm is coming out, there's a bit of a snow hole, and you're in it. But you've got high winds and ground blizzards going on there with wind gusts of 60, 70 miles an hour or more forecast today, blowing all that snow around. Still some action going on in California, although it is lessened, and we're starting to see those warnings and advisories and winter storm watches pushing eastward into the upper peninsula of Michigan. But no issues here for the East Coast today. And we'll get into more of this, by the way, on our regular YouTube live stream tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Now let's start talking about Sunday. There's a two-part event that we're going to be dealing with here. Part one is Sunday dayside into Sunday evening. And this is going to hinge on just exactly how much cold air holds on during the day Sunday. I've put up the ice forecast map first for western and central Pennsylvania, north and south, and you can see that there's mostly a tenth of an inch or less. Might be a little upside here though, and we'll have to watch the radars about that, but certainly some glazing is possible here and into a small area of western Maryland. This is going to be for Sunday morning, and later in the day Sunday we see some risk for some glazing after a shot of snow Sunday afternoon in parts of northern New Jersey and through the Hudson Valley and on up into the Catskills and in western Connecticut. Now, with respect to snow amounts from the Weather Service with this, this is through Monday morning, but the precip's going to shut off at some point Sunday night in areas from Connecticut and the lower Hudson Valley south and west. So this is what we're looking at in terms of snowfall. My own snowfall forecast early call, actually, which I did yesterday, is fairly close to their updated map today. So we have about an inch or so down near the coast, extending down to about Philadelphia. Most of the heavier snows of several inches or more are going to occur up in northeastern Pennsylvania, just north and west of New York City, maybe right along, for those of you who know the roads, 287. So from 287 northward, I think there's the best, you're going to see higher amounts. Usually we use Route 84, but in the early part of the season when it's warmer. But you can see how the amounts pick up as you move up through the middle Hudson Valley. Looks like in general it's a 2 to 5 inch snow event. I think there's room for some upside here. And we've also seen some 4 and 5 inch amounts in northern Connecticut and Massachusetts. Across upstate New York, it's basically a 2 to 4, 2 to 5 inch snow event. Again, this is from round one. Now, round two is going to come during the day Monday and into Monday night, and that is still highly uncertain in terms of how that's going to play out. Satellite view this morning on the loop, the western storm is beginning to get a bit better organized now. Usually when these storms come inland, they in the west, they fall apart, and we notice that on the surface map, they look like they've fallen apart. They actually haven't. You got just all this energy kind of scattered around. Now you're starting to organize it into one surface low that's in northern Arizona and eventually going to make its way up to the east-northeast and setting much of the northern plains and the northern Rockies in for some heavy snow and eventually going into the western Great Lakes. And here's what it looks like on the radar as of 9 a.m. this morning. Not a whole lot happening. We've got a little bit of precip up in the Great Lakes today, and that's in the form of some light snow. And you've got all sorts of precipitation from heavy rain in southern Arizona to heavy snow as you go on up to the north. And that's our western storm system. Now, two things to look at here. First off, I'm going to show you the GFS model, and then we'll take a quick look at the NAM. The east is fine. The block to the east keeps things very dry. You've got this high that's building south in between that storm, and you can pick it out on the upper right, some back edge snows that start to move westward into western parts of Nova Scotia on Saturday. And in the meantime, our storm is running to the east. That block is holding, forcing this low to die out. The primary low weakens rapidly on Sunday, starts to redevelop, and suddenly you've got a low sitting off the Delaware coast. And you see that first round of precipitation that comes in by Sunday morning. GFS is a little faster here, so with colder air in place, that might perhaps certainly supports the numbers that are out there in the forecast. The faster it gets here, while it's still cold enough, maybe puts down a little bit more in some places. And you see how tight that rain snow line is by 1 in the afternoon. The GFS has it at New York City. The NAM has it a little bit colder. The first round goes out. The second round is going to be all the upper air energy coming into play. And the low starts to intensify off the New Jersey coast south of Long Island. And then cold air begins to collapse southeastward. And that's that snow will accumulate probably later Monday afternoon into Monday night before the storm finally pulls away to the northeast. It's very tenuous here in terms of where the low positions are. The European model, which yesterday went crazy with the snow amounts because it had the low further south, and in bringing up that upper air energy was supporting a burst of heavy snow during the day. It kind of cut the amounts in half, which I really think seem more reasonable. And they would imply that the second half system would be a 2 to 4, 3 to 6 inch producer in areas from, say, north of Route 195 on northward, particularly north of Route 78 in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and also on up into southern New England. But we're gonna deal with that separately. I want to get this first system out of the way. And you see the NAM here brings that precip in, snow and sleet, and then to rain. It has a tough time bringing up that warmer air because that secondary low is redeveloping near the Delaware coast. The first area moves out Sunday evening, catch a bit of a break. Upstate New York and New England, though, it continues. You get some heavy snows there into southeastern New England, up around Boston, into southern New Hampshire and southern Maine. Then comes the second round, and the NAM doesn't go out far enough yet. The new NAM today will, but you see the snow is kind of redeveloping to the north and then pivoting southeastward, and that's what we're going to be counting on with respect to round two. So obviously, it is a rather complex scenario we are dealing with. So here's the situation for today. We are going to see what we're going to be doing website posts throughout the day. Check out the meteorologist Joe Chaffee weather app for the latest updated National Weather Service snow forecast maps. If you have the app, it's absolutely free. Download it on Google Play or on the App Store, and you can get the Weather Service snow forecast maps updated as the Weather Service updates them throughout the day. And we're going to have our regular YouTube live stream tonight at 7 o'clock, the Joe Chaffee Show. And for Patreon members, I am trying to set up a Skype with Bill Goodman from the Weather Service here in New York. So stand by for that. All right. And we'll post that in our Weather in 10 segment. All right, everybody, have a great day. Stay safe on this long holiday weekend, and stay safe when you go out shopping, too. We have to say that these days. Have a great day.